Good morning and welcome to the Independent Republican Mike Graham right here on TalkTV. Well, it's another fascinating morning, isn't it, in the dangerous world of international politics. I'll tell you what we're not going to do on this show. We're not going to go on and on and on about what Boris Johnson is guilty of. We're not going to go on and on and on about a 100-page document that has been written with some glee and not a little bit of poison pen by Harriet Harman and the brigade of anti-Boris haters who think that he should be sent to the Tower and never seen ever again. Like Donald Trump, he should be consigned to the dustbin of history because, look, what he did. He went to a party, he had some cake, and then he resigned. But that's not good enough for us, is it? No. He must be punished. He must be sent away. Perhaps Elba would be a good place. Perhaps Devil's Island. Maybe put him on a long boat and a slow boat to China. Possibly. The point about all of this, surely, is that we are seeing the people who hate Boris Johnson speaking on other media. They won't be speaking to me. The likes of Chris Bryant from the Labour Party, the likes of Dominic Grieve, the former Attorney General, who ended up leaving the Tory Party because he was such a Ramona that he couldn't stand it. He got kicked out. The likes, of course, of Bernard Jenkin, who hates Boris Johnson, always has. The likes of Harriet Harman, who's always hated Boris Johnson. You know, Boris Johnson may be many things, but he got Brexit done, even though some of you think he didn't get it done properly. At least he got it done partially, which nobody else had managed to do. Got it done a lot better than Theresa May got it done. She's still sticking the knife into him as well. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say that Boris Johnson is the sainted man that some of his supporters say he is. But he's a bigger figure in politics than any of these pygmies who are having a go at him. And I know that many of you will agree with me on that. Yes, he made some mistakes, and yes, he's no longer Prime Minister. And yes, he may or may not make a comeback in politics. But the bottom line for me is that he is being absolutely and utterly crucified on the table and the altar of hypocrisy created by the very people who say that he's a bad man. Well, to be honest, Parliament has made a complete and utter fool of itself. The Parliamentary Standards and Privileges Committee is a waste of our taxpayers' money, a waste of our time. The House of Lords, I think it's time we did away with all of it. The honours list, forget about it. We've now got 29-year-olds going in as members of the House of Lords because they happen to sit in the Prime Minister's office for a little while. It's a joke, isn't it? It's all a joke. We're all sick to death of the waste of money that is our political system. And I think it's time, ladies and gentlemen, that we had a bit of a revolution. So let's have a bit of a revolution today. You know, this is not all about Boris Johnson. It's not all about Harriet Harman. It's about the state of our democracy and why we seemingly can't get anything done. Is Rishi Sunak really the answer? Have you seen what he's done? What exactly has he done? Stop the boats, he said. There's been more people coming in the last 2 hours than there were in the whole of November. Practically. I know that's a slight exaggeration. We're going to talk about the migrant situation as well, because there's been another tragedy in the Mediterranean near Greece, 79 migrants dead. This is exactly why we have to stop the boats coming. But the people who want them to continue to come, the people who continue to make money out of it, want you to think that we're doing the right thing by encouraging them to come on the boats. Well, we're not, and that's a mistake. Rod Liddle is here. Isabel Oakeshott is here. We've got a great show for you. Alex Salmon is going to join us as well. It's a fantastic day to be alive. This is the Independent Republican Mike Graham. Let's get it on. Welcome to the Independent Republican Mike Graham. It is Thursday. I can't believe we've nearly reached the end of yet another week, for heaven's sake. Quentin Letts from The Times has tweeted this out today. Westminster's judgment on Boris Johnson runs to more than 100 pages. They really have all gone mad. I think they really have. I think they've been investigating their own navels for such a long time. They think that people care about this. As you heard on Julie Hartley-Brewer's show this morning, most people who are out there in the big wide world, outside of the Westminster bubble, do not give a stuff. They want to get back to a place where they can get things done, where they can afford to heat their homes in the winter and put the fan on in the summer, where they can afford to send their children to school, where they can afford to feed their families, and where they can afford basically to put any kind of petrol or diesel in their car without being forced to buy an electric one.